Okay, so for today, we'll be discussing search and seizure. So let's first define what is a search warrant. So search warrant is an order in writing issued in the name of the people of the Philippines, signed by a judge, directing a peace officer to search for personal property described therein and bring it before the court. Ang search warrant nakapangalan sa people of the Philippines. Okay, ang pumipirma dito o ang nag-i-issue nito, ang nagbibigay nito ay si judge. Judge lang ang pwedeng makapag-issue ng isang search warrant. At inuutusan niya ang isang peace officer or isang police officer or law enforcement officer na iserve yung warrant na yon. Ibig sabihin siya ang magpapatupad, yung police officer na yon, nung search warrant. At personal property nga ang kinukuha mula doon sa mga private persons at dadalhin yung mga yon, yung mga items na nakapangalan sa search warrant sa korte, doon sa judge na nag-issue nung search warrant. So, nature, strictly construed against the state because it is an exception to the general guarantee of personal privacy under the Bill of Rights. It is specific to a single offense only. Ibig sabihin, ang isang search warrant ay para lang sa isang offense. Hindi pwede na madaming offenses, sabihin natin 3 ang offense tapos isang search warrant. Hindi pwede. Kung merong 3 offense, kailangan 3 rin ang search warrant. Section 2, court where application for search warrant shall be filed. First one is jurisdiction. Any court within whose territorial jurisdiction a crime was committed. Ibig sabihin, kung ang isang krimen ay nangyari sa Angeles City, kailangan yung court na nakasasakop sa Angeles City ang mag-i-issue nung search warrant. Hindi pwede na yung judge na nasa Makati ang mag-i-issue ng search warrant doon sa crime na nangyari sa Angeles City. Hindi pwede yon. In certain instances, the Supreme Court allows executive judges of designated courts to issue search warrants that can be served outside the judge's territorial jurisdiction subject to special guidelines. Next is forum shopping concerns. The law aims to prevent the practice of indiscriminate search warrant applications across multiple courts for the same offense. So, pag sinabi kasing forum shopping, di ba pag magsha-shopping, kadalasan hindi lang sa isang lugar titingin ng mga gamit. Usually, 1 or more shops ang titignan mo bago ka mag-decide kung ano yung bibilhin, di ba? Pag sinabing forum shopping, ay iba't ibang korte ang pupuntahan mo pero same offense ang ina-applyan mo ng search warrant. Hindi pwede yon. So yon, meron din kasing document na tinatawag na Certificate of Non-Forum Shopping. It's a certificate na pinatutunayan na hindi nag-forum shop ang lawyer. Hindi siya nag-apply ng search warrant sa iba't ibang mga judge for the same offense. Hindi pwede yon. Isang offense, isang application lang for a search warrant. If a judge denies an application, the applicant must disclose this fact in subsequent applications to other courts. Then we have Section 3, personal property to be seized. Una, subject of the offense. For example, contraband, stolen items. Ito yung mga bagay na patungkol doon sa offense o doon sa krimen na nagawa. Katulad nga ng mga kontrabando. Number 2, stolen or embezzled property and other proceeds or fruits of an offense. For example, pag nanakaw, yun ang krimen. Nagnakaw sila ng TV. So, yung TV na ninakaw ay pwedeng kunin mula sa kanila kasi it's a fruit of the offense. Bunga siya nung krimen. Bunga siya nung offense. Used or intended to be used as means of committing an offense. For example, illegal firearms, forged documents, counterfeit currency plates, equipment used for forging documents. Bumili ka ng baril para gawin ng isang krimen. Yung baril na yon, pwede yang kunin sa'yo. Pwede yang maging subject ng search warrant. Number 4, it must appear from the facts that these items are specifically connected to the crime. Kailangan mapatunayan na yung mga nasa search warrant, yung mga kinuha ng mga pulis nung pinatutupad nila yung search warrant ay merong connection doon sa crime na iniimbestigahan nila. Requisites for issuing a search warrant. Probable cause. The judge must personally determine the existence of probable cause. Probable cause for search warrant refers to facts sufficient to convince a prudent and disinterested person that there is a fair probability that a crime was committed and that the objects sought in connection with that crime will be found in the place to be searched. So pag sinabing probable cause, ito yung malamang meron talagang krimen. Ito yung dahilan kung bakit masasabi ng isang judge yun or ng isang, sabi nga dun sa lecture natin, disinterested person na kahit yun lang nga, hindi siya interesado dun sa kaso, masasabi niya sa sarili niya, oo nga, merong dahilan. Oo nga, parang totoo itong mga akusasyon. Oo nga, parang ito ang mga ebidensyang nagpapatunay na ang krimen na to ay nangyari talaga. At yung mga bagay na ginamit doon sa paggawa ng krimen ay mahahanap doon sa lugar kung saan na-issue yung search warrant. So that's probable cause. Next is personal examination. The judge must examine under oath or affirmation the complainant and any witnesses the applicant may produce. Mere affidavits are insufficient. There must be searching questions and answers reduced to writing as part of the record. Ang ibig sabihin nito is si judge mismo ang magtatanong sa mga complainant or mga witnesses. Hindi pwedeng affidavit lang nila ang ibibigay kay judge. Kailangan yung tao mismo, tatanungin sila ni judge. Ang tawag doon ay mga probing questions, magpo-probe siya para makakuha siya ng sapat na impormasyon, sapat na ebidensya para ma-determine kung meron ngang probable cause for him or her to issue a search warrant. Particular description, the place to be searched and the items to be seized must be clearly and specifically described to avoid general warrants. Any ambiguity in the description that results in a roving commission to search is unconstitutional. Ibig sabihin nito, kailangan sobrang specific ng address doon sa search warrant. Hindi pwedeng too generalized. For example, hindi pwedeng nakalagay sa search warrant is MacArthur Highway. Kasi 'di ba ang MacArthur Highway mula yan sa Manila hanggang Tarlac, Pangasinan, 'di ba? Malayo ang MacArthur Highway. Ibig ba sabihin lahat ng nasa MacArthur Highway na mga bahay, mga establishments, pwede silang masubject sa search warrant na yon? Kasi nakalagay MacArthur Highway, hindi pwede yon. Kaya nga unconstitutional siya. At kaya nga ang requirement is that specific ang address na nakalagay. Block 1, lot 2, barangay ganito, purok ganito, kung anong city or municipality and yung kanyang province. It's so specific na hindi ka maliligaw. For example, number 1, Masaya Street, Barangay Balibago, Angeles City, Pampanga. It's so specific. Isa lang yung bahay. Isa lang yung number 1, Masaya Street. Number 4, one specific offense rule. A search warrant shall be issued only for one specific offense. Ito yung sinabi ko kanina na hindi pwede na madaming offense, madaming krimen, tapos isang search warrant lang. Hindi pwede yon. One offense, one search warrant. Kung may tatlong offense, tatlong search warrant din. Several properties may be seized under one warrant if they are all used or intended to be used in the commission of the same offense or are necessary evidence thereof. Then, Section 6, issuance and form of warrant. Content must be in writing in the name of the people of the Philippines, signed by the judge, and must include the date and place of issuance, the name of the persons against whom the warrant is directed, a particular description of the places to be searched, a particular description of the items to be seized. Kailangan nakalagay yung mga item, yung mga bagay na kukunin ninyo mula doon sa lugar kung saan naka-issue ang search warrant. Hindi pwedeng, for example, the crime is murder. May nakita kang unan. Hindi mo na kukolektahin yon. Hindi mo pwedeng kunin yung unan kung wala naman siyang connect doon sa murder. Pero for example, yung unan na yon, yung ginamit doon sa murder, then of course, you can acquire that pillow. Okay. Section 7, right to break door or window to effect search authority to break. In case the lawful officers are refused admittance, they may use reasonable force to gain entry. So kapag ang mga pulis hindi sila pinapasok ng tao na nandoon sa location na naka-issue yung search warrant, pwede nilang gibain, pwede magkaroon ng forced entry, pwede nilang sirain yung pinto para makapasok sila. This must be done only after proper notice of authority and purpose has been made. So, knock and announce rule. Kailangan kumatok ka muna, magpakilala ka, o kami, mga pulis po kami sa ganitong istasyon at meron kaming search warrant, something to that effect. At kapag hindi kayo pinansin, hindi kayo pinapasok, kiber, sabi nila, doon, pwede kayong mag-forced entry. Unless circumstances justify non-compliance, the occupant might destroy evidence. So, yon, merong exception doon sa rule na yon. Kapag hindi nyo giniba yung lugar, yung pinto, ay baka maunahan kayo, masira na yung mga ebidensyang kukolektahin nyo o kukunin nyo sana para doon sa investigasyon ninyo. The force used must be proportionate and strictly necessary to enforce the warrant. Section 8, search of the house, room, or premises to be made in presence of 2 witnesses. So the search must be conducted in the presence of the lawful occupant or any member of his family. So ibig sabihin, kailangan yung may-ari ng bahay ay nandoon sa bahay niya para sabihin na natin supervise yung pag-serve ng search warrant. In their absence, at least 2 witnesses of sufficient age and discretion. So, syempre, hindi naman sa lahat ng pagkakataon nandun yung may-ari, baka tumakas na siya, 'di ba? So, pwedeng 2-witness rule. Magsama ka ng 2 witness para i-observe yung ginagawang pag-serve ng search warrant. So the purpose of this is to prevent planting or tampering of evidence and to preserve the integrity and reliability of the search process. Section 9, time of making search, daytime service. A search warrant should generally be served in the daytime from sunrise to sunset. However, if the affidavit states that the property is on the person or in the place to be searched at night or other compelling reasons, the judge may insert a direction that it can be served at any time of the day or night. Ibig sabihin, as a general rule, umaga lang talaga sinaserve ang search warrant from sunrise to sunset. So, pag nag-sunset na, hindi na pwedeng ma-serve ang search warrant as a general rule. Pero, kapag merong dahilan ang mga police officers na yung ebidensya makikita lang tuwing gabi. So, pwede nila yung sabihin sa judge at si judge mag-i-insert lang ng provision doon sa search warrant na pwedeng i-issue yung search warrant at any time of the day. Policy minimizes unreasonable intrusions on privacy during nighttime. Judges may issue such permission only if justified by the fact. Section 10, validity of the search warrant, return thereof. This is effective for 10 days from issuance. Must be served within that period or it expires. So, as a rule, may expiration date ang search warrant. 10 days lang siya pwede. Ibig sabihin, kung na-issue yan ng August 31, kailangan from September 1 to September 10, na-issue mo na ang search warrant. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman mawawala yung location, 'di ba? Kasi sa search warrant naka-indicate naman yung address nung location kung saan i-issue yung search warrant. Hindi yun mawawala. Kaya dapat within 10 days nakuha nyo na yung mga ebidensya mula doon sa lugar kung saan naka-issue yung search warrant. Hindi naman kasi katulad sa warrant of arrest na tao ang inaaresto, 'di ba? So pwedeng tumakas na siya. Pero yung property, kapag search warrant, hindi naman makakatakas yan. The officer serving the warrant shall within the same period deliver to the issuing court the warrant together with an inventory of the property seized. Ibig sabihin, pagkatapos nilang ma-issue yung search warrant, kailangan nilang gawan ng inventory. Listahan ng lahat ng mga ebidensya, lahat ng mga properties na nakuha nila mula doon sa location at dadalhin nila yon pati yung warrant kay judge na nag-issue ng search warrant. Receipt for property seized. The officer taking property under the warrant must give a detailed receipt to the lawful occupant of the premises or the person from whom it was taken. So, bago umalis yung mga pulis na nag-issue ng search warrant, kailangan maibigay muna nila yung receipt, mga listahan ng mga bagay na nakuha nila. Ibibigay nila yon doon sa may-ari ng bahay. Kung wala yung may-ari ng bahay, the receipt must be left in the place where the property was seized. This ensures transparency and accountability for every item seized during the search. Section 12, delivery of property seized to court, inventory. Duty to deliver and inventory. The seizing officer must forthwith deliver the property seized to the issuing court together with the inventory duly verified under oath. This fosters chain of custody safeguards and serves as evidence of the seized property's existence and condition. So, yung inventory, pinatutunayan niya na nag-e-exist yung bagay. Pinatutunayan niya na yung bagay na yon ay nakuha mula doon sa lugar kung saan in-issue yung search warrant. At ini-establish niya rin ang chain of custody. Pag sinabi natin chain of custody, di ba chain? Link sila. So, ito yung taong unang humawak doon sa ebidensya. Kanino niya ipinasa? Sino-sino yung mga taong humawak at nag-establish nga nung chain of custody? Custody and disposition, the court shall retain custody or direct the safekeeping of the property pending determination of the case or as otherwise provided by law. Exceptions to the warrant requirement, warrantless searches. May mga pagkakataon kasi na pwede kang mag-conduct ng warrantless search. Okay, ito yung mga yan. Number 1, search incident to a lawful arrest, limited to the person arrested and the immediate surrounding area. Ibig sabihin, kung ikaw na aresto, automatically, pwedeng i-search yung person mo. Pwede niyang tignan yung mga gamit na nasa bulsa mo. Pwedeng kunin yung mga gamit na nasa bulsa mo. Basta nasa iyo, at kung ikaw ay naaresto, automatic, hindi na kailangan ng warrant to conduct the search on you. Consented search, valid only if the consent is voluntary, express or implied, and given by one with authority over the premises or object. Kapag yung tao mismo na may-ari ng bagay ay pumayag na i-search siya. For example, kapag tayo pumupunta sa mall, 'di ba, sa SM, saan man, yung mga security guard, 'di ba, pinapabukas yung bag natin, tapos tayo bubuksan din naman natin yung bag natin. That's a consented search. Okay? Number 3, search of moving vehicles based on the mobility of vehicles and the impracticality of securing a warrant in time. This still requires probable cause. So kapag checkpoint, limited pa rin sa visual inspection or compliance checks. Extensive search requires clear probable cause. So for example, checkpoint nga, hindi naman sila pwedeng, kung nakasasakyan, no, sir, pwede bang buksan nyo yung compartment ninyo? Hindi pwede yon. Sir, pwede bang buksan ninyo yung glove box ninyo? Hindi pwede yon. Kasi kailangan plain view. Yun lang ang gagawin nila kapag nagkakonduct sila ng checkpoint. Kapag kailangan nilang mabuksan yung glove box mo, then doon kailangan meron ng search warrant. Customs and immigration searches, regulatory measures at borders or airports based on state's power to protect public welfare and revenue. So for example, papasok ka ng Pilipinas, pwede kang i-check na mga immigration officers. Ganun din yung mga gamit na dinadala mula sa ibang bansa, papasok sa bansa natin. Pwede rin i-check yun ng customs. Hindi na kailangan ng search warrant. And yun na nga kapag nasa border na or nasa airport. Number 5, stop and frisk. This is also known as the Terry search. Limited pat-down search for weapons when there is a genuine reason to fear for officer safety. So, ito yung ipa-pat-down ka lang nung officer. Titignan nila kung meron bang deadly weapon sa person mo. Baka meron kang dalang baril. Baka meron kang dalang bladed weapon. Pwedeng stop and frisk kapag suspicious ka eh. Ganon. Number 6, plain view doctrine. Lawful presence plus inadvertent discovery, incriminating nature of the object is immediately apparent. For example, meron kang bag. Sa taas ng bag mo, merong drugs. Nakita yon ng pulis. Pwede ka niya nang arestuhin. Hindi na kailangan na mag-request pa siya ng search warrant kasi plain view nga eh. Nakita niya yung droga sa taas ng bag mo. Wala siyang ginawa. Tinignan niya lang yung taas ng bag mo. Nakita niya na yung droga. Pero if the drugs is inside the bag, hindi niya pwedeng ipabukas yon sa'yo. That would not constitute the plain view doctrine. Again, pag sinabing plain view, nakita nga lang in plain view. Walang ibang ginawa, nakita lang. And then, exigent circumstances under urgent and immediate conditions. So, imminent danger of destruction of evidence or hot pursuit. Yan yung mga iba't ibang paraan kung saan pwedeng mag-conduct ng search kahit walang warrant.